hand, this movie is about alcoholism and deep things about depression. And on the other hand, it's about a giant monster terrorizing a city. It's a mixed bag. Colossal is directed by Nacho Vigalondo, and it stars a huge star, Anne Hathaway, in a very different role for her, and it's also Jason Sudeikis in there. And this movie is something that I'd never heard of. It is a very small, tiny little movie that I saw it was playing, and I'd heard maybe one little thing about it saying, oh, it's interesting, check it out. And I saw the poster, and that was it. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go into this blind. That is awesome for me to go into a movie like that because I hear so much about movies. I see so many movies. I see all these trailers. Going into a movie that I haven't seen anything about is very refreshing, and it's very cool. And the movie surprised me in a lot of ways. It is a very unique movie and a very well-made movie, but I think that the story is not as well told as the idea that it has here. So this movie stars Anne Hathaway, and she is a little bit down on her luck. She has problems with a boyfriend or with work. She's going through a lot of things. She's a little bit of an alcoholic, right? So she goes back to her hometown to try to, clear her head, try to start her life anew a little bit, and she discovers that when she drinks, metaphors, she turns into a giant monster, but instead of like it being just metaphorical, she literally turns into a monster in this other part of the world and terrorizes the town. So now she has to deal with this discovery of, oh my god, I'm a monster. And then there's this whole thing that happens with Jason Sudeikis. And so here's what I'll say about this movie. When it started, I was like, wow, what an original thing, what a cool concept. I'm really into this movie, and then it went down a road. And I'm not saying that the road was bad to go down, because eventually I like where it leads, but I feel like maybe it was the wrong road to go down, because I feel like it was going one direction that was really quirky and fun, and then it went down this road that just got super dark and like creepy, and the tone started getting up all over the place. And the movie started with some different tones in there, with a little bit of like drama, with some like cool humor and quirkiness, but it got to some really creepy places in this movie that I wasn't expecting. And I'm not saying that it's bad, but it just wasn't, it didn't go in the direction that I thought it should have. There were so many parts of this movie that I was like, oh, what a great idea, what a cool concept, metaphors and things, and I feel like it just went in this direction that it didn't need to go down. And it was interesting. I'll say that it was very interesting, and there's very great performances in this thing that led it along. Anne Hathaway, never seen her in a movie like this. She wasn't exactly raunchy, but I haven't seen her as an alcoholic, so it was very weird seeing her not be the good girl, She had some problems. It was really cool. Great role for her. Jason Sudeikis was also fantastic. But the movie as a whole, I feel like it just it couldn't decide if it wanted to be this like quirky, fun movie or this scary, creepy movie. And I feel like it really had a problem with the tone there. I feel like there was almost two versions of this movie, and they kind of just mixed it together because they didn't decide which one they wanted to go with. And the movie was very interesting and fun, and it is worth seeing a movie like this because of how original it is, and just it goes for it, and I really appreciate that. And that makes me like this movie a lot more. But the story overall just didn't. In the end, I was satisfied. I was like, okay, I like how that ended. But along the way, I just felt like it's kind of a wasted opportunity. So I was really conflicted coming out of this. I didn't know how I felt about it. And even after a few days, I thought that maybe I'd be like, you know what, I did love it. I loved it. I loved how weird it was. And I loved how weird it was, but I just can't get past not loving the story as much as I did in the beginning. So I'm going to go 2.5 out of 5. I definitely think it's worth checking out if you're into weird movies like this. I'm very curious to see what other people think about it. But for me, I thought it was a little bit of too much of a mixed bag. A little bit too much, like some of its parts wasn't as great as its whole. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me. I think it's I think it's a well-made movie with some really original ideas, but I just didn't love it, and I was hoping I'd love it, and you know I loved it in the beginning, but it let me go a little bit too much. So, not an awful movie. I can understand if people really love this. I bet a lot of people really do, and I would love to hear from those people. But I could really understand if people really hated this movie too. So, I'm right in the middle. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this and you want to see more reviews from a guy like me, Tom Waterloo, then please like and share this video, leave a comment down below, and most importantly, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.